good.
So yeah, there's two things that we're definitely going to want to centralize pretty quickly, and the first is brand monitoring.
We should encourage everybody in this room, by the way, to become a fan of our page. Yes.
I will do it as soon as I get back to the lobby. So the first thing is probably centralized brand monitoring. We don't need 37 different brand monitoring packages. Like, let's all band together. Let's march into Radiant 6 office in Halifax, and let's cut a deal and get you guys some really, really awesome pricing on that. And that way we can all kind of share a console. Even though we have different brands under one umbrella, it'll save us a lot of money, and it'll take a minimal amount of time per day. And then figure out consistently, how do we want to receive alerts? Like, do we want to receive a text message? Do we want to receive an email? I don't know who here needs more email. I'm like 438 emails behind, so I think I'll skip the email notifications. So that's the first part, and then the next part is the social media management system, really, for the whole brand. So it looks like Facebook is going to be pretty well integrated with all these CRM systems by Christmas, maybe January. So even though right now Facebook has to be managed manually, there are some other options. There's a software company called Context Optional that allows you to manage Facebook. So like, let's say you're running 7 different Facebook pages. And then also figuring out what are the different CRM systems that we're using on each property level. And I'm guessing, even though there may be 40 or soon 80 hotels in the chain, I'm guessing it probably all boils down to 4 or 5 different CRMs, and figuring out how do we hook up the social media management systems with the CRM so we can prove outcomes. Because if we can't prove ROI of 15 to 20x, we gotta kill it. We're here to make money. And then the other thing I'm noticing is socializing the sales process. So figuring out if we're doing strategic group sales, are we currently in Miller Hyman or something similar? Do we have like a group sales methodology, like a strategic selling?
Well, we follow a lot of the brand guidelines are the group sales strategies that we've got.
And figuring out basically which pieces we should modify. Typically, there's a lot of Sales 2.0 brands like Inside View, In Contact, things like that, and selecting sort of universally from a corporate level which ones we'll be working with, and then supporting each group sales team by doing that. Because a lot of the sort of the early wins or the low-hanging fruit is going to be not just the supply chain stuff, but in B2B. That's where you can usually see the quickest deals closing. Lead times are not that long, 90 days, 100 days, or whatever. And I mean, what do we have any projections for next year in terms of convention business? Do we, 2011 stuff yet?
Depends on the market. I mean, I'm not saying that over and over again, but it really does. I mean, Sacramento has a different convention calendar than maybe Emeryville, Oakland folks do, as did LA, San Diego, so and so forth. So, most convention businesses, at least the LA market, that's not how those really look lately, is it's good. It's up. Looks more conventions year over year, and actually, more importantly, more attendees.
More total gross.
Total gross
room nights, yeah.
So, but again, LA doesn't necessarily mean something that's going to happen in San Francisco / Oakland, or it's not mean it's going to happen necessarily in Sacramento, Portland, or Seattle, wherever it's going to be.
The other thing we could do to try, because I know you're dealing with so many DMOs, it's a little diffuse just because you're so geographically spread out. Like, I mean, the fact that when I heard your name, I thought of your hotel in Northbrook, Illinois, rather than the one down the street from my house.
Okay.
That's all of it. When I used to work at CDW, and all of our vendors used to stay at the Northbrook property. So, yeah. I don't work there anymore, so but what I was thinking was it may be actually pretty purposeful for your company to educate DMOs, possibly by doing webinars or workshops, to let them know that you're sort of the leading voice of the social customer. Maybe even just a once-a-month webinar series, just for them to think of you as the only multi-brand hospitality management company that understands the social customer, to kind of reposition the brand from an educational perspective, because DMOs are sorely underserved in their training budgets. I know because when I work with a DMO, I don't charge them for it. It's free. So I know there's an opportunity area there.
Yeah.
Right. What other questions do we have about the day-to-day and how much time should be spent on things?
Well, what's the big hitter? Like, is it Facebook? Is it LinkedIn? Is it Twitter?
There is no big hitter. I mean, as far as right now in the English language within hospitality.
Yeah, we don't have any hotels overseas.
Yeah, so I mean, sure, Facebook's going to be what you need right now, but could very well change in 90 days. So it's not about the tools. I mean, the top level model to strategy around the social customer is an acronym. It's called POST, P-O-S-T. It's people, objectives, strategy, tools, and then I add a little M, measure, and then rinse, repeat. That's sort of the top level orientation. So typically when we do strategy with a client, we'll do it on a wiki rather than on Microsoft Word documents, and then we just revise strategy like every 90 days or so.
So is that fluid?
Yeah. Just the tools, not the people, the objectives, or the strategy, but the tool set changes. Yeah, I mean, for example, I know Tim was here, talking about Foursquare. Had we been talking about location-based services a year ago, he probably would have recommended something different. And who knows if Foursquare is going to get purchased by Facebook or whoever in 3 months, and it could be integrated. So it's tricky like that. I mean, you have companies like Oracle, Salesforce, Facebook making an acquisition every 30 days. So you've got to be very, very nimble. The first thing I do every morning is read vendor briefings, just to make sure that I'm on top of the tools.
That's because people are, or companies like Oracle, huge conglomerate, multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar entities are buying these up because people are actually doing it, correct?
Yeah, so yeah, that's a perfect example. So the reason why Salesforce bought it, so has anyone heard of Jigsaw? Jigsaw's a funky little website. It's a little bit like LinkedIn.
It's like LinkedIn meets like Dun & Bradstreet's, and they kind of just put them together into one. So
It's a little bit weird. You have to give information into it to get information out of it. So let's say you're trying to reach an events planner at Hewlett Packard in Palo Alto, and you really want to sell them a block of rooms. You have to give them the information of another events planner, somewhere else in another hotel in order to get it. So Salesforce bought that company for not a ton of money. It wasn't a big company, but now that's integrated and it's part of Salesforce. And so all of the customer relationship management brands are buying a lot of small social media brands because they're realizing that customers like you are demanding this stuff. And so every morning I just need to know who owns who just while I slept. And so I actually use Inside View. That's sort of my tool of choice. I love it. For Sales 2.0, they're a former client of mine from about 4 or 5 years ago. And I just get this little red email every morning that's just a list of the 70 or 80 companies I'm following. And, if someone flushed a toilet at Westinghouse, I heard about it. It's a pretty useful feature. That's why I called that guy at Stonebridge Hospitality. So any other more tactical questions? Feel free to just ask a question on Facebook or Twitter. It's okay. We can answer those too.
JVP does a great job because they're more recreational properties,
Sure.
Fun, beachy.
It's an FIT travel.
Yeah. Where we're more corporate, and so what would you think of strategy-wise? How does that change?
Yeah, so the difference is because you're going to have a different spend per customer. The CLV, the customer lifetime value, is going to be enormously higher, and so you'll have probably deeper brand loyalty. So I think you're going to want to actually sit down face to face with a select group of regulars. Just find 10 people who stay once a month or greater, a certain frequency, and just have kind of a wine and cheese dinner and just talk to them. I mean, qualitative assessment is the best way to write strategy. Just you can go through whatever. I would say pick one of your busier properties and look for regulars, people who are coming from a greater distance. Maybe if it's your property in Chicago, look for people who are from greater than 500 miles away from Chicagoland. And you can pick this out just by running a regular report on there. And then just have maybe even a social media dinner for them, something like that. I could help you guys come up with a list of what I would talk about at that. But yeah, and then just videotape sections of it, show it to your sales, your marketing, and especially your operations team. If ops is not talked to about this, the whole thing will fail. It's really important. Cool. So if you want to grab books, Christina will be in the back. Just give her your goodies and then go out to play. We're all set. And if anybody needs me or Christina, just send us an email. And we'll be seeing you guys soon. Come see us if you're in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.